now listening to Tough Tiger Talk Flash Report.
All right. Tough Tiger Talk. Big Q in the building. Much love to the fam. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And by all means, feel free to hype the show. Tough Tiger Talk is in the building. And this one, man, we're going to be talking about some excellent news dealing with some of the top recruits and Coach Kiffin. Hit the like button, the sub button, and the notification bell for future content and updates here from Tough Tiger Talk. Now, this one, LSU football surging for five-star wide receiver after the official visit. Now, this past weekend, fam, there were several really talented players that we brought in, hosting a ton of really good talent. Jalen Brewster, who's currently Texas Tech commit, five-star wide receiver. Easton Royal is there, and several others that LSU brought in here, and that we're poised as they're trying to flip these players over to LSU and convince them. And now it could be something going on with one of the top talents out of Louisiana, five-star wide receiver. Easton Royal has canceled his official visits with Tennessee and Ole Miss, and Florida and LSU are leading the charge in an efforts to flip Royal, according to reports. So this is very serious for LSU to land this top talent going on. But also, Xavier Sabb is another top priority in the 27 recruiting class. From the native from New Jersey. He was in Baton Rouge on Friday as LSU looks to try to move in that direction and get this stuff together, man. So Lane Kiffin continues to do what he does the best, man. We're doing excellent recruiting and trying to build into the future. So let's kind of get into this article right here. Standing at 6 feet, 195, Sabb is a five-star recruit, the number 4 wide receiver and the number 22 player in the nation, according to Rivals industry rankings. It's coming off an impressive junior season at Glassboro High School in New Jersey. 59 catches, almost 900 yards, 13 touchdowns. He also lined up at safety. He had 15 tackles, 2 for loss and 4 picks, and 2 pass deflections. Rivals Greg Biggins notes that he could get snaps on both sides of the football. He's very talented. And Lane Kiffin understands that as well. After spending time at Baton Rouge, the Tigers have become a true threat to land a wide receiver. Rivals national recruiting analyst Sam Spiegelman writes that LSU is beginning to pick up momentum for Sabb. LSU is surging with Sabb, and from speaking with sources with the Blue Chipper over the weekend, the Tigers are going to be a factor in this recruiting moving forward. Kiffin and the staff are going up against a handful of top teams, including the likes of Alabama, Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. This was his first time on campus, though, meaning LSU made a strong first impression. The Tigers are also hoping to make Sabb the latest addition to a growing 2027 cycle. So far, they have landed 5 commitments, ranking 4th in the SEC and 11th in the nation. Sabb could be the second wide receiver in that group, joining 4-star wide receiver Amari Stevens. So that is also cool to see Coach do that. Now, we talk about Xavier Sabb, but this is another great talent right here as the Tigers are looking good to land Easton Royal too. He has made the Tiger this past weekend was really big for LSU because they've made some impressions on some of these terrific players. And it could be a situation where LSU can end up really kind of flipping things over to their side of things. And we're looking forward to seeing that happen big time because a lot of these talented players, especially ones that's coming out of LSU, you want to keep these guys at home. And if we can keep or land a guy like Easton Royal and bring him into fold, and then you bring Xavier Sabb out of, this will be a phenomenal move. Now, the only thing Lane Kiffin is doing is just really turning it up in his recruiting cycle in an attempt to kind of bring some game and move this team in the right direction and kind of put us where we need to be on the national stage consistently, which is what they're looking for, at least the very much a playoffs. So anyway, let's leak into this article from to break down what they're meaning about Easton. As you can see right here, Easton Royal LSU make a strong push for 5-star to flip him during the official visit too. You can see Easton Royal right here with Lane Kiffin with a Saints hat on. LSU weekend packed, official visit, top ranked targets. One of the Tigers' biggest targets in the whole class had the red carpet. Every stop pulled out for him on day one. Easton Royal, the number 2 wide receiver in the country and the number 1 player in Louisiana, according to 24/7 Sports Composite. LSU has been making a strong push for a flip ever since he committed to Texas just a week before Lane Kiffin was hired at LSU. Now he's on campus, and LSU is pushing hard to land him. And new faces, new efforts. Now Coach Kiffin has been going to see him, I think 2 or 3 times. He went down to Brother Martin, it's a private school in New Orleans, to go and visit him. As you can see, he had pointed up at the board, as you can see right here. But for Royal, LSU's post commit recruitment has been electric. When Lane Kiffin first landed in Baton Rouge, it took him only a couple of days to get on the road and get to recruiting in Louisiana, but he had a priority target as one of the first stops was Brother Martin in New Orleans. He went to see Royal. That was his new face in LSU recruitment, but now he has yet another face. LSU newest coach, Ed Orgeron, was one of Royal's first contacts upon arrival in Baton Rouge. So Coach O is speaking up for him now. This is what LSU hired Orgeron for, but only time will tell if it works. The team approach. LSU committed contingency for the 27 season, and some of the 26 signees have been working hard to push any flips in-state targets to come to LSU. That includes Peyton Houston's endless efforts, with Lamar Brown throwing his efforts in as well. But now the epidemic has spread. LSU is using it during Royal's official visit. On Friday night during Royal's photo shoots, Brown, the 2027 commit, Ahmad Hudson, and freshman Deuce Geralds were all there chatting with Royal, calling for his flip on Instagram stories. This effort is nothing new for LSU, but now with the 2026 number 1 player in America, the top tight end in the state and one of the country's most coveted defensive line talents in 26, calling for your pledge, Royal will not have it easy leaving Baton Rouge. So the duality of recruiting, LSU's biggest stop is getting Royal to change into some track gear for his photo shoot. All right, this should come as no surprise as Royal's Louisiana track star posted a 10.17 second 100-meter dash time at his senior year. He's capable of running track at LSU, and Kiffin and his staff are hoping that he'll sway his decision to flip his commitment to them. So that is good. Shout out to LSU Wire for delivering the scoop on another fantastic receiver. So Easton Royal, Xavier Sabb, LSU's doing great things, man, in their attempt to kind of move this stuff in the right direction going into the seam. So it wasn't all roses. LSU was beaten out by a 4-star talent for football. LSU football beat out Georgia. LSU for an offensive tackle. Florida football program is getting the pledge of 4-star offensive lineman from Georgia who offered from several teams. So this is a player. So we pushing to get some talent. Of course, you're not going to get everybody, but Coach Summerall in Florida were able to get Kennedy Jackson. And of course LSU is pushing him, but the Gators are getting some top players on their recruiting trail. Florida just signed a commitment of 4-star offensive tackle, Kennedy Jackson, according to Rivals. Jackson is from the state of Georgia. Florida was able to scoop him up, even though he had offers and a lot of interest from Georgia and Georgia Tech. LSU was also involved in trying to get him there as well. And Jackson's a member of the 27 class, listed at 300 pounds, and should immediately compete for snaps as a starter. He's ranked number 8 offensive tackle in 27 Rivals 300, according to the reporter. And Summerall comes to the Gators after having a successful tenure as a head coach at Tulane. He led Tulane to the college football playoff during the 2025 season. Shout out to Coach Summerall. So he gets down there and he gets some offensive help to help protect his quarterback and build his offense. And Florida got a good coach in Coach Summerall, man. Y'all should be happy. All right, and of course, we keep it moving there. Y'all hit the like button, hype the stream as we keep this thing moving on Tough Tiger Talk. 5 burning questions for LSU transfer portal class ahead of the 2026 draft. Shout out to Zach Nagy from Go 24/7. Lane Kiffin and co. assembled the number 1 transfer portal class in America, looking to reap the benefits of its draft haul. Lane Kiffin and the Tigers assembled the number 1 portal class in America this offseason after inking near double-digit top 100 players in the market. What became a historic stretch for the Baton Rouge Tigers. The program's recruiting efforts paid off with a myriad of immediate impact prospects signing deals with LSU. And Coach Kiffin thinks a lot of it. When I say it's probably the best ever on paper, that's partly because of the numbers and volume. We also had a lot to replace some of those players decisions to move on, and a part of it was our decisions as well. Since assembling the portal hall with over 40 newcomers, the program has navigated spring camp across March and April, with summer workouts now officially opening this week. From Sam Levitt's health, he given a clean bill of health, to the potential alongside the offensive line. There are several questions surrounding what the transfer portal hall will do in the upcoming season. So, of course, the Go 24/7 staff burned in with these 5 top questions to ask about it. Number one is Sam Levitt's health. It's been the talk of the offseason. Quarterback Sam Levitt has remained in headlines since he entered the portal. LSU understood it would be a unique offseason for him after suffering a foot injury across the 25 season and limiting his availability for spring camp, but also his rehab remained speedy, according to Kiffin. Yes, he's doing well. Now, of course, since then, we do realize that Sam Levitt was given a complete and clean bill of health, that he's not going to be restricted. He was running full speed online. They had if you've seen on social media, he was running, I think they had him marked at 21 miles per hour. He's an athlete, but the guy's 100% healthy and ready to participate in all of the camps that's coming up and the training that's coming up for LSU. So that was one of the biggest questions, is how is his health for the top signal caller going into the rest of these camps, and he's good to go. Number two, the spring camp stunner, running back Dylan Jones. LSU Dylan Jones took spring camp by storm after joining the program following with the Wisconsin Badgers. 5'11" to 11. Out of Maryland, spent a pair of seasons with the Badgers where he carved an integral role, but a injury last fall limited his production. Jones went out as the starting running back for the Badgers, but suffered a toe injury early in the season, starting just 7 games. In 10 games across the stint with Wisconsin, Jones rushed for almost 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 7 starts in 25. He rushed for 300 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Now he's emerged as the lead back in Baton Rouge, where he took a majority of the RB1 reps during spring camp, splitting with Harlem Berry. Will he carry that momentum into the fall camp? Will Kiffin and company continue rolling with the Wisconsin transfer? There are questions to monitor here. Dylan Jones is a solid pickup, and he will do well. So, and this is what he said during spring camp: I feel like I can do it all. It's a tempo offense, so having to do a lot of substitutions will slow it down. I feel like I could stay in all 4 downs. I can pick up the blocks. I can run the ball. I can catch the ball out the backfield. I just feel like my speed is also there. This is what he said during camp for the young Dylan. Will he be a factor? Of course, you got Harlem Berry there. You got K. Durham. So it's going to be an interesting mix that goes on there. But there was a question leading into spring camp if any of these other running backs could step up and be a third back to kind of challenge in that thing. Good to see Dylan Jones, the transfer, involved there. Number 3, will Devin Harper take that step? LSU offensive line remains a position group that could see some movement heading into the summer workouts and ultimately in the fall camp. Across spring ball, the Tigers coaching staff rolled with LT with the left tackle Jordan Seaton, left guard Bo Borderland, center Braylon Moore, right guard Aluba, and right tackle Weston Davis. But will that rotation remain the same as the offseason roll around? LSU brought in a multiple newcomers for the offensive line. You have Ole Miss transfer Devin Harper emerged as a name to know there, because this could change. This definitely can change. Aside from the obvious Jordan Seaton, right? We know Jordan Seaton is going to be the guy. Harper started spring camp as the left guard alongside Seaton, but also was quickly passed by Borderland as a 5th-year senior and emerged as an offseason winner early on. There will be a focus on that left guard spot and the right tackle spots this upcoming year. Harper is looking to push Borderland and Weston Davis, eyeing an opportunity to keep his starting job. So this will be interesting. 6'4", 300+ Devin Harper coming in and saying, listen, man, we need to do better. And that's true. LSU's offensive line last year was horrible. Basically a rebuilt line right here. Jordan Seaton and Weston Davis, those guys interesting. LT's not, Jordan Seaton's not going nowhere at the LT position, left tackle position. Braylon Moore is good at the center position. Aluba seemed to me, he is the guy at that right guard position. But the left guard position is going to be a fight. So with that right tackle position as well, we'll be monitoring it. And of course, number 4, will a transfer defensive lineman step up? A lot of talent along the defensive line as well to talk about, but there's a clear cut winner along the defensive line during spring camp. Collins Hill, from Collins Hill 4-star, its own Deuce Gerald's, right, from Collins Hill. So he is earning significant reps early on with the program across the March and April months. But the 6 foot, 280-pounder from Georgia handled his reps with the first team. But the other spot along the interior defense line appeared to be up for grabs going. And so Deuce has done his job. I always talk to coaches to think about to think about the guys, how to use these guys. He said he had a phenomenal job, major impact. Used to be in high school before everybody, became mid-years. For him to come in and play at the level he's playing it at practice, the way he does it, says a lot about him how he was coached in high school. So it says a lot about his upbringing with his parents. This is what Coach Kiffin said during spring camp about Deuce Gerald's. Now down the stretch of the spring camp, Auburn transfer Malik Blockton earned significant reps alongside Gerald's. Now Blockton 6'3", about 290 pounds, and he quickly made a name for himself as he entered year one with the program. This is a junior now. And according to Blockton and Deuce Gerald's, there are other players to mention too, but there's opportunities for guys like Clemson transfer Stephilian Green, who's looking to step up. Will transfers Blockton and Green step up to push for immediate playing time? Does 5-star Dominic McKinley take that next step and make a statement, or will Gerald's and true freshman Richard Anderson hold it down? It just creates a lot of great competition along the defensive line, because obviously for depth situations, if injuries occur, we still have to be able to keep the defense solid, stopping the run and putting pressure on the opposing quarterbacks. This has to be a consistent and steady thing for LSU going into the season. Man, be honest with you, if we're trying to make the playoffs and stay in the playoffs push, we got to do what we got to do on that defensive line, no doubt about it. And then, of course, 5. Let's take the secondary. LSU secondary has an opportunity to flourish under cornerbacks coach Corey Raymond, safeties coach Jake Olson, with a pair of assistants flaunting an embarrassment of riches. Cornerback room, from a depth perspective, will have its fair share of questions. Top-heavy rotation of DJ Pickett, PJ Woodland, and Jakeem Jackson. There's a lot to like right there. Along the final level of defense, the safety room has significant intrigue with the addition of Ty Benefield leading the Chargers, arguably the top defensive player on the roster while winning the spring camp. Benefield, Tamarcus Cooley, and Deshaun Spears carve out a strong 3-man group where there's versatility to put either Benefield or Spears at the star role. But that brings the major question surrounding Benefield is, where will he earn his money and thrive in the defensive coordinator Blake Baker's system? Where would he go? 6'3", 200 plus pounds, is built like a brick house, and he's a good tackler, giving him an opportunity to flourish at the star role close to the line of scrimmage, but he's handed reps along the final defense at the safety spot. So we'll see how that all goes. So where will Benefield see the reps? Will Baker and Olsen utilize the elite defensive weapon? This will keep tabs on for the rest of the season. LSU also is primed to open up the summer workouts on this past Monday with the entire roster back in Baton Rouge. Strength and conditioning coach Nick Savage looks to get the Bengals physically prepared for what is expected to be a massive 26 year in the boot. So this past season, we got a lot of players down there hitting the weights, working on getting together for the season. And let me tell you something, the chips are in. A lot of money was spent on this team to get this team to where it is. And we understand and know that I don't see Coach Kiffin at all, man, running, just in every step of the way. The LSU Tigers committed big dough to the coaching staff, to adding players like Seaton, the top quarterback in the class, a top transfer portal, an excellent 2026 recruiting class to go along with it. And all this stuff LSU's doing, like I told you, fam, when they hired Lane Kiffin, I wasn't a big supporter of that. But the bottom line is he's kind of impressed me with his work ethic. Since he came in, he didn't pout about what happened with Ole Miss. He just came in and got to work. He got busy recruiting, and he's done a good job of recruiting the rest of the 26 class when he stepped in here. He recruited the 2027 class. He basically rebuilt his team. His wide receiver room was destroyed. His running back room was destroyed. His offensive line room had several returners, but a lot of depth was ate up from it. He had no quarterbacks. He had spots to fill on defense. And what Lane Kiffin did was brought in his staff that he could bring from Ole Miss, kept Blake Baker here and his staff to make them happy, and gave him a raise because Blake was headed to Tulane. And he did a lot of phenomenal stuff. He kept the defense intact, gave everybody raises. He came in with his staff, his offensive staff, hired them, allowed whoever dealt with Ole Miss until the playoff run was over with, went and started recruiting his ass off to finish up the 2026 class, went to the transfer portal and destroyed the portal. He basically brought in over 40 new players to LSU to fill in his team. And you got to get a man a lot of credit for that when he was able to basically construct and build this team while viciously and ferociously going after the top recruits close to him and near him to bring him to LSU. I've said it before, how he's operating. The program is bigger than him. When he was in Ole Miss, he was bigger than the program. Coming to LSU, he ain't bigger than the program. Multiple head coaches won national championships. He hadn't won one before. He wants to win his first one as a head coach, running it for himself. He brought back Coach O, who's a close friend of his. Coach O is already recruiting, bringing in talent and recruiting. He's already working with the defensive line right now, and it brings championship edge. A lot of the former LSU players are celebrating the fact that Coach O is allowing players from the past to have interaction with the current team, something that the previous administration didn't do. So it's a lot of good things that's popping in LSU land, man. I think it's a golden era of LSU football is about to start, mixed in with several championships headed forward. So y'all just be prepared for it going forward. And that's not just that. It's a lot of what LSU is doing. They committed to not only the football, getting that right, but also bringing back Coach Wade over to basketball side of it and giving him the resources to build the basketball program up. So that's about to be elevated. So it's about to be Win Central, Golden Win Central in LSU Nation. So just enjoy it, man. We about to hit this golden era and enjoy great football, competitive football once again in Louisiana, man. So y'all enjoy that. So anyway, with that being said, that's all I got for y'all on Tough Tiger Talk. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hype the stream, man. Hit the hype and hype the stream, hit the notification bell and the share button for Tough Tiger Talk. We keep it real about LSU, man. Hit the comment section up. Let me know how y'all feel about this stuff and more. With that being said, I'm holler at y'all on the next one. Much love. Peace. Go Tigers.
Subscribe to the Tough Tiger Talk channel and stay up to date for all things LSU football.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thewhodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thewhodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.